thanks for watching. Today I have two types of guests. Parents who want their kids to stop blaming them for all of their problems, and grown kids who are finally ready to confront their allegedly deadbeat parents. Take a look at this.
We tired of our parents not being there for us. Bill, please help us.
Growing up was rough without my parents being there for me.
My parents missed so many special moments in my life because they chose drugs over me.
I didn't have anyone to teach me how to be a man.
My mom and I had a terrible relationship.
I don't want a relationship with my so-called dad, Kurt. He's a deadbeat and I hate him.
When I was a teenager, my mom had me arrested, and I sat in jail for weeks. She never came and got me.
My older brother passed away, and my dad said he hoped I end up 6 feet deep too.
I'm so sick of my mom saying I put so much of the blame on her. Now that you know our story, Bill, you gotta step in and help us.
We're going to try. Please welcome Sharon to the show. Sharon, how you doing? All right. Sharon, why are you here today?
I'm here today because my family is a wreck. Just
shattered.
It's shattered. And me and my mom relationship is horrible. We are at a stage where we need help. And that's why I called you.
How did it begin? Because go back in time. Describe your family situation as a little girl. What happened?
As a little girl, I don't even remember living with my mom. I remember living with my grandmother. She took custody of us because my mom chose drugs over us.
In fact, your mom and dad were both on drugs.
My mom
and your daddy was a drug dealer.
Yes. I don't know remember nothing about my dad at all, besides me being grown.
Guess what? He's here today.
Okay.
Now, tell me about your mom rejected you, got rid of you. Tell me about that moment.
My mom... When my mom finally got me, I was in a group home. I was 17. I was already grown. So I felt like, what can you teach me? You missed the important things in my life as a little girl. So at 17, I go to Tennessee with her, and I was very sick. She accused me of being pregnant. I took multiple pregnancy tests just to prove her wrong.
Well, what was the medical thing you had going on?
I had a fibroid tumor.
A tumor?
Big as a golf ball.
And your mother thought this girl is 17, messing around with boys, she's pregnant, repeated pregnancy tests, all of which are negative.
Her history when I had my own.
So you're here today with your mom to do what? What's the goal?
To tell her that I'm grown. I don't need you to be a mother. I just need you to be there. Show and prove. Like, be a grandmother now, as she claimed. Oh, that's what I live for. You live for your kids. That's what I live for, my child.
So you had CPS. You had foster care.
Foster care.
You had guardianships. You didn't have mom and a dad. They were into drugs big time, heavy. In fact, your mom spent years and years on drugs herself. She was incapable of being a mother.
Years, because I'm 17 when I see her. So, of course, I don't, like I said, I don't remember being a child. With my mom, the thing I remember is being with my grandmother, and after my grandmother, a group home until I was 17. And then my mom tried to be a mom in Tennessee, but it felt like she was being my enemy. How are you going to give me a pregnancy test when you just starting to get to know me?
What about the big fights you had and you ran away?
The fight we had, like I said, it was small, but I don't even remember because my mom make it so big. I came to Baltimore. She claimed that when I came to Baltimore, she got me arrested.
Your mama got you arrested. She called the coppers on you?
Me.
For what?
Runaway. In Tennessee, is some kind of law, but she didn't have to call the police. She knew where I was going.
So they can't put the bracelets on you?
In jail for weeks, Bill. Without my mom, she never showed up. Police calling her to trying to find her. I don't know where she is. She might have been getting on drugs again. And when I finally seen my mom after 17, it was a year later. I had a daughter, premature baby. She wasn't there.
You needed your mama with you during
I needed my mom from the beginning, period.
Please welcome Sharon's allegedly deadbeat mother, Rhonda, to the show. Rhonda, come on out.
Today to tell you that you hurt me in my past and it affect my future.
No. What
yes.
you talking about? I was there.
You was there for my surgery at 17. You didn't come get me until I was 17. I was grown.
You
What
don't
can you
remember.
teach me at 17?
You don't remember. But I I could teach you a lot of stuff.
Okay, so why were you there when I had my baby?
You want to be the mama. That's why your nickname Mama. You
but
want
I
to
gotta be the mom because I was
I'm in charge. I'm in charge.
Where were you when she was a child, Mama?
I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there always. I provided from day one. I provided from day one. I give myself a lot of credit. You wasn't there for me like you were supposed to be. You favored your father.
If I favored him in your eyes, that's your problem.
I cleaned myself. I cleaned myself. I laid beside y'all. I laid beside y'all.
Let's sit down and talk. Sit down and talk. Sit down. Now, let me ask you this, Mama. Talk about the letter your daughter wrote when she was only 11 years old. What did she say to you when she was 11? Let's hear some issues from your side.
I get her out of the group.
I wrote a letter to both of them.
Both of them, Mama and Dad.
My dad was in jail.
She comes to Tennessee and she wrote me a letter calling me every name but the child of God.
One at a time. One at a time.
She came to Tennessee, left Tennessee, and called me every name but the child of God in that letter.
Didn't you deserve it? Did you deserve it?
No.
You were a good mom.
Tennessee after a surgery, a major surgery.
And I paid for it. I took it.
I paid for my medication.
This is Mama's turn. Mama's turn.
I'm supposed to be their financial bank, and I'm not.
Financial bank?
Because I wasn't there for 3 years. I admit I wasn't there.
You gotta be there for your baby.
I wasn't there for 3 years. But I don't own them because I got good. I cleared myself. I got clean, laying beside my kids and clean myself. No rehab. No rehab or nothing.
Hold on, Sharon. Rhonda, the authorities took your children away from you, correct?
No, the authorities didn't take my kids away.
GPS took them away.
A relative took my kids away.
What about her being in a group home?
I went to the group home and got her from Tennessee. I came down from Tennessee one time and got my daughter.
How did you react when you got that letter? How did you react, Mom?
I knew she had ran away and I called the police.
And I said,
and then you got her locked up.
Yep.
And then where was she when the police called her?
Nowhere.
Why didn't you visit her in jail?
She ran away.
Why didn't?
First of all, like she said, I used. I admit to it. That's how you do. When you changing your life, you got to admit to your wrongs. And I admitted to it. I went and called the police, what I supposed to did. She left my house.
What's 11-year-old?
She left my house.
11-year-old.
I'm trying to get my life together so I can provide for mine.
My daughter run away. I'm dropping everything that come in.
I'm calling. I'm crawling. I'm crawling. I'm crawling. I'm crawling right there. I'm going back to my kid right there, man. That's right. I'm going to get my baby. I'm going to get my baby.
Don't let someone take me in a jail hole and sit there for
weeks. That's what you did, Mama.
She nowhere to be found.
To offer what? Answer where they find her at. Mama, where they find
my relative house.
What do you want to see happen?
No. Got me from jail.
The police locked you up.
Hold on, one at a time. Mama.
Breaking what law? Run away from a mother that wasn't there?
No, for breaking a law. No. That's why they locked you up.
We're now years past that. A lot of water's gone over that dam. What do we do now? What's your relationship with your dad right now?
My relationship with my father is long distance. I love him dearly, just the same as my mom. And he calls me every day. I had to call my mom to start a conversation.
You have a good relationship with dad and no relationship with your mom. What do you want to see happen today?
I want my mom to make effort for me and her grandbaby, not just your grandbaby, because you live for me and her now.
All right, let's talk about one other very sad incident. We got to open up another chapter right now because you had a son who was murdered, correct?
Yeah.
Very sad. Many times these events bring a family together. Sometimes they tear a family apart. What happened at the funeral of this son that was murdered?
Well, I did what I had to do and paid for his funeral. I paid for the funeral, me and my husband.
See, that's another
nobody
thing.
else.
She did something.
Kurt
we
did
all
nothing.
did. I got on Facebook.
He lived with her and he lived with me too. She lived with me.
Credit for that.
She lived with me with her baby. With her grown white father didn't take care of them. They stay down there.
Did not do anything.
My son passed.
See, she said she did it all. He had a wife, but she took his wife over my son.
Where was the boy's father during the funeral?
He was
MIA.
MIA.
And he come down here and didn't give me a dime towards the funeral and left before the funeral.
All right, let's do this. We have a lot more coming up from other family members, including Daddy is here to talk about his son's death, what he did at the funeral, and his relationship with his kids. Stay right there. A lot more coming up.
My son, we just got him a headstone. He's done 2 years. He could have called me and offered me $1. We don't need nothing from him. He know that. He know how I live. I don't need nothing from him.
My father has showed, and he has been there.
She defends him, but I'm there all the time.
Rhonda is ready to forgive her deadbeat dad.
And you sitting up here and Sean telling these people all these lies.
But mom can forget.
I'm trying to be a better person.
You are trash to me.
Don't miss this bitter battle.
We talk on Facebook.
Well, let them talk. Let's do this. I want everybody to stop just for a moment.
I made arrangements to come down for the funeral. I had some money to help out with the funeral, but I wasn't putting no money in their mom's hand, knowing she was using drugs. I wasn't doing it.
Let me ask you this, Rhonda. What is your relationship with your ex, Kurt, at the present time?
He's nothing to me.
He's nothing. But you made babies with him.
Right. And
When's the last time you saw him?
Like 5 years.
5 years. How many babies did you two have together?
4.
4 kids. We got 2 of them here today.
Right.
Sharon, when's the last time you saw your dad?
2 years ago at my wedding.
Did he went to the wedding?
Yeah.
Why has it been 2 years?
Because, like I said, our relationship ain't perfect. After you do your job for me, you can go home.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
And is it fair to say that Mom and Dad were both into drugs for a long period of time? Mama, is that true? You were in the world of drugs?
I was into drugs. Yes, I was. For like 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
And are you still into that
I'm
life?
clean since
You're clean.
99. Since
Clean.
1999.
But you say Kurt is a deadbeat.
Yes.
Why is Kurt, the biological father of these children, why is he a deadbeat?
Since day one, after I had my kids, I had to bribe him to come and bring something for my kids.
I feel
I had to make promises to him to bring.
My father has showed, and he has been there to show us more care and love.
That's what I'm talking about. She defends him, but I'm there all the time.
I'm defending him.
I'm the one they
today,
call when they
but
want
I did
something.
Not defend
I'm
him
the
in the
one
past.
that helped with the wedding.
Because he showed
I'm the
more
one that did
than
it.
what she
Not
was
him. He couldn't
She's
even
always
get the
taking
tuck.
his side of the
He couldn't even get the tuck.
Why wouldn't I take his side now when he showed me he cares and loves me? He calls me every day, Bill.
Please welcome Sharon's dad and Rhonda's ex, Kurt, to the show. Kurt, come on out.
You know what? You sitting up here, Sean telling these people all these lies.
Trifling is the word for you.
These people all these lies.
You come down to Tennessee. You
Check this out. Come down to Tennessee. I ain't never came down to Tennessee. You came down to Baltimore for what? Come down there and just you for what? You ain't give me any time. I wouldn't put no money in your ass. I wasn't giving you jack. I wasn't giving you jack. I wasn't giving you jack. For you and your boyfriend to get high.
Last
Man, get out of my
was
face.
to be
Man, get out of
buried
my- I
in
wasn't giving
the
you-
funeral home of his choice, and I made sure it happened.
You lucky
We
I'm
don't
trying
need
to be a
nothing from
better
you.
person.
You are trash to me.
You know what?
You are
So
trash
be
to
it.
me.
So be it. You mean nothing to me. You mean nothing. Listen, I'm here for my kids.
Kurt,
That's it.
Kurt.
You party with that money. You
So
went to a
what?
club
I went to a
with the
club.
money that you
Why
got
did I come to
You got
Baltimore
money from the
for my
church.
son's death to go
You
to a
got
club?
money from the
I
church
could've
and
went to a
club.
club
I
and-
do the
I could've went to a club at home.
Oh, let's do this. Mama, you sit over here. Sit over
I
here.
got high over 20 years. Yeah, I got high.
Let's go.
So
Honey, let me talk. Let me talk. I want to hear
You're
Kurt's
a lying
side of it.
piece
Hold
of
on,
trash.
honey.
Still get high.
Hold
You're
on,
a lying
honey.
piece of trash.
All right, hold on, honey.
Why you so
Look,
angry?
let's go
if I
one at a
still
time,
get
honey.
high?
Sit down.
I can drop a yarn
Because I
right
do the
now.
kids and grandkids now.
Guarantee right
They don't
now.
even know you.
2011,
They don't even know
July
you.
23rd.
Bring them on this stage
Been
now.
clean
They don't
since.
even know you.
What? Been clean since.
Honey, let me
I
talk.
talked to all of
Kurt,
them.
let me talk about one thing with you, man. Let's say there's been some problems in this family, shall we
Oh,
say?
yeah.
We want to move from this point forward. Let's get one thing on the table and let the man talk. Talk to me about the funeral.
You nervous.
Hold on, honey.
The lies catching up to you now.
You trash.
I
Honey,
wasn't
please.
there.
Tell me about the past.
I wasn't there.
Tell
you
me.
know.
Talk to me.
You,
What was it?
like she said, if I ain't had no money or nothing for them, you know,
I couldn't see my kids. I kick in the door to see
But
them.
how she say she
I
forced
kick
you
in
to
the
come
door
see
and
us.
see them.
She had to bribe
you
you
know,
to come
you
see us.
admit bribe me with sex.
Let me ask one question.
I am. I'm happily married right now. My wife know about all of my life, everything. Past and present.
Kurt, talk to me about the funeral of your son that was murdered. Let's deal with that issue, and then we're going to move on, honey. We got another son coming.
The reason I didn't stay for the funeral because they was holding his body. They didn't know how to bury him. I wasn't putting no money in her
Dad,
hand.
you knew the situation. We had to raise the money.
They had to raise the money.
That's why
I had
so
a light,
long.
$1,000.
But you should have stayed. I feel you
Talk
should
about
have
the
stayed since
$1,000.
everybody else home.
I couldn't stay.
Why you couldn't stay? Why you couldn't stay on work whatever for your son?
You ain't work nowhere.
Why didn't you stay for your son's funeral? What happened to the $1,000?
Your first son.
Did you
Your first
party with that money, or
first
did you give
born.
it for the funeral of your boy? What
And
happened?
you know what, Bill?
Let
I
me
take
talk.
a lie detector test. I don't go out to clubs. I don't drink.
I got you
don't get
on
out.
Facebook at the
I
club.
live life.
What'd you do with
you
the
got
$1,000?
who on Facebook at a club?
I got you on Facebook at
I
the
bet
club.
you a dime to
got
a
you on
donut. You
Facebook
ain't got
at the
Kurt
club.
at no club on
You on the
Facebook.
club. You at the
I
club.
bet you a dime to
You
a
come
donut.
down here.
Have you ever
What
seen
did
me
you
on
come for?
Facebook?
What did
We
you
talk
come
on
for? Come
Facebook.
on,
Well, let him talk.
I talk to her on Facebook.
To show you, show off.
Hold on.
My father reaches out
Let's
to
do
me.
this. I want everybody to stop just for a moment. Kurt, I got a question. I want you to stop. Now, Kurt, look at me, man to man. You admit a lot of wrongdoing in the past.
I did. You know what?
And you
I
wanna do
was a
better.
deadbeat dad.
Don't you wanna do better?
I was a deadbeat
Ain't
dad, but I
been
want a
no
relationship. Hold up.
no
I want a relationship
birthdays,
with my
no
kids, but
nothing.
let me say something. I want a
Please.
relationship with my kids.
Talk to her.
I
Talk
want
to
a
her.
relationship with y'all.
Talk. Now,
Okay?
let father and daughter talk.
9 times out of 10 today, I came here to mend this relationship. If I get a relationship with you, it was well worth the trip. Okay?
Is there hope for
Ain't
your dad?
thinking about,
Yes, there's
hold
hope
up.
for him,
I
but I
love
want there to
her
be hope for
because
you
that's
and your
their
son.
mom.
And
I
you gonna
love her.
respect the grounds I walk on, and I'ma make
You know
sure
what? I
that.
tell you what, I will
I'ma
respect
make
the
sure
grounds you
that
walk on.
you
Yes, I
are.
will.
You ain't
Let
got
him
no
talk.
Yes, I
choice.
will.
Guess
It's
what?
always
We
about
have Kurt's son coming up. A lot more family
I
drama.
already
Stay right
know.
there.
I already know what's going to happen.
And you haven't seen this boy in 2 years. Do you want to see him now? You want to try to resolve this?
Another child. More deadbeat drama.
Everything you say don't come off as a lie.
I'm telling you, get out my face,
They
so
won't
I'm
do
going to break
nothing,
your
dog.
jaw, boy.
You won't believe what happens next.
Next time you threaten me,
No,
you think about killing me.
Ain't no relationship going on. Ain't no relationship at all with my father. No matter what he does. No matter. I don't want no relationship. Do what you got to do for my kids, not me. I don't want no relationship with you. None.
Today is going to be an attempt to have a resolution of a long-standing family feud that's been going on for a long time. Kurt, you came here to have a relationship with your daughter, and that we made a small step. And the first step is acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and you acknowledge it, and your ex acknowledged it. What is your relationship like with your son, Rodney, right
I
now?
haven't spoken to my son in 2 years.
Haven't spoke to him in 2 years. Why?
You know, it's probably got a lot to do with me not being there for the funeral, you know, for the viewing and all that, you know, the services. But, you know, I called him and asked him to be the best man at my wedding.
That's another issue. We got the
And,
funeral issue, in which is an allegation that you didn't pay the money, the $1,000 allegation used for partying, and now you want the best man. You called him to be the best man at your wedding, and as I understand it, you said you'd take care of the airline ticket, and then you didn't.
You know why I didn't? You know why it never happened?
Why?
For the simple fact that he thought I was supposed to send his ticket when he wanted it. I had bills and stuff to pay for. I had the rest of my wedding to pay for. I was going to fly him in there. I was going to fly him in, fly him back.
And didn't
Pay
Rodney
pay for his tux and everything.
didn't Rodney threaten your life?
Yeah.
Tell your boy
Yeah,
threatened
well,
to
he
kill
told
you.
me if I come to Baltimore, he's going to have me killed. That was a joke. To me, it was a joke.
And you haven't seen this boy in 2 years. Do you want to see him now? You want to try to resolve this?
I want to resolve it, but he might not want to resolve it.
That's
I'm
fine.
all right with that. However it go.
She wants a relationship with her kids. Here we
How
go.
old mine's is.
Please
Mine.
welcome Sharon and Kurt's son, Rodney, to the show. Rodney, come on out.
Everything you telling out, everything you saying out your mouth is a lie, and you know it. Everything you saying out your mouth is a lie.
I'm telling you, get out my face, yo. I'm gonna break your jaw, boy. You better go ahead.
Nigga, my mother better go ahead. My mother. You never been there for me.
Hold on, Daddy, sit down.
Everything you saying is a lie.
You know.
All right,
everything a lie.
Kurt, let me hear from
That's all right.
Rodney's first time Rodney's here. I want to hear from Rodney.
At the end of the day, my life still won't go on.
Hold on, Daddy.
The journey in my life still won't continue.
Daddy, let me hear from. I want to hear from Rodney.
I love you, regardless of how you feel. Regardless of how you feel about me, I want a relationship for you. If you don't want nothing to do, okay, then it's dead.
Let me talk.
Enjoy your life.
Let me talk.
Enjoy your life, bro. All right, enjoy your life. I'm good with it.
Then Rodney,
I want you to calm down. Everybody, I want to spend time with Rodney. Hold on, Rodney.
The next time, you know, and I'll say it again the next time you threaten me. No, you think about killing me. You know what's gonna happen. If you ever, I'll be back in about 2 weeks. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'll let you know.
And I'll be waiting.
And I tell you what, why don't you put out there? I tell you what, son killed. Put out there and kill my son.
You killed him for not being there.
Let me talk to Rodney.
You killed him for not being there.
Hold on, Mama. Let me talk to your boy. Rodney, where does the anger come from?
He ain't never been there.
Explain it.
Never.
Give this man a chance. Let him talk. Now, tell me where.
I didn't play almost every sport you could think of.
Where was your dad?
Locked up.
Where was
or smoking coke, or sniffing dope.
Are you a little bit like father, like son? Didn't you get lost in drugs a little bit yourself?
I mean, I did all that.
An example. You got the example.
But I mean, kids only do what they see. Or kids only do what they see. That's why right now I'm trying to set an example for my kids.
You don't take care of none of them for jailing. You don't take care of none of them for jailing.
Listen,
I talk to them every day.
Bill,
I talk to them every day.
Bill,
you don't take care of none of them for jailing.
Hold up.
Rodney.
Look, hey, Bill. I'm in college, right? I just finished technical school. I'm certified phlebotomist. Hold up. I'm trying to break the cycle that this look like this sperm donor, you know.
You don't call him dad, do you?
He don't deserve that word.
A lot more coming up. Stay right there.
A family divided.
So you have greater feelings for your dad than for your mom. You have greater feelings for your mom than for your dad.
A family at war.
Smack you just for general purpose.
You ever think about putting your hand on me? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Will the feud end today?
I wasn't never there, but I love my kids. I miss my son.
Do you feel dished by your own mother and don't know why? Do you feel like she doesn't love you? We want to hear your story. Contact me at BillCunninghamShow.com. Call me at 1-855-US-BILL or text guest at 95902. Message and data rates may apply.
She has a really great eye for fashion, and I never pay full price. That's why
I told you that when I had your first child. You're going to respect the ground I walk on for the rest of my life. I'm going to be that number one for the rest. I don't care who you marry. I'm the number one. And you're going to respect that for the rest of your life. You should apologize. Your first child, you gave him nothing forever in his whole life.
Today's about family drama that needs to be resolved. We have the kids here, Rodney and Sharon. Let's go back in time. As I understand this, you two had
a horrible
drug addicts, drug dealers, pushed off to relatives, foster care, CPS, jail, father in jail, mother not present, terrible. And then you finally, as an adult, try to get back in their lives. And then we got the funeral issue. We got the wedding issue, in which your dad, you two have to deal with the murder of your brother.
And nobody cared about that.
Nobody cared. And we got the funeral going on, and then Dad shows up supposedly with the money, but the money doesn't hit the table. The money goes somewhere else. And so now you have a stepfather. You call Dad and not Kurt, who is your dad. But the fact that you're here tells, and you're threatening to murder your dad.
It all stemmed from something totally different.
What is it? Let's go back.
He said, all right, first off, my little sister, I love her to death. She making it seem like my mother ain't, you know, I was born on her birthday. They try to say she made me, her favorite. But it ain't that. My mother had.
My mom more than
she used, but my mother, she used. My father, he still do till this day.
No, he don't.
He still
You two don't get along either.
No one.
We ain't tight like we used to. At the end of the day, like I said, Bill, that's
but you
my
yell at her.
All right, I'm my big brother.
But don't you love your dad?
Nah. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. But at the end of the day, like, if you want the title as a father, as a dad, as, you know, somebody that's supposed to be in my, you don't get that title because you never been there.
Let me deal with a terrible, you know, I had a really bad relationship with my dad. When I was 12 years old, he left. I never saw him again the rest of my life. Terrible relationship. But one thing he never said to me is, Billy, I want you 6 feet under. When your dad said to you, I want you 6 feet under like your dead brother, how'd that make you feel?
I told him straight, it made me feel like, why would you say that to your only son?
He did it to hurt you.
And
then you threatened to kill him.
I made a threat. Like, all right, pretty much.
You didn't mean that. You don't mean that.
At the end of the day, like I said, he made me, that's my father. But at the end of the day, once you said that to me, I told you you're another dude in the streets right now to me. You don't mean nothing to me. You dead to me. I'm dead to you.
This is the Bill Cunningham. This is the Bill Cunningham Show, Rodney. This is your life. At the end of the day, we want to help and not cause problems. You came here for a reason.
I'm good.
But Rodney, you came here. What do you want from your dad? What do you want?
Nothing. Since my kids been born with. The stuff my father bought for them, he tried to steal it back.
I don't know about that, but he bought Janela.
What have he done?
And he kept it, she got it still.
He came to my graduation, right? When I was in prison, I call him if I don't get my mother on the phone. I call him, look, Daddy, I need a couple dollars. Or, Daddy, can you put some more money on the phone? First thing he do, he don't ask no questions or nothing. I can't get in touch with my sperm donor. He helped me get my car on the road. I needed fixed. I needed detail. He do that. Like, at the end of the day, Bill, I'm 28.
Rodney, let's do this. At the end of the day, I'm going to begin with Sharon. Sharon, what do you want to see happen today? Can today be the first day of the rest of your life? With your mom, with your dad, and with your brother? This is a family unit that's been shattered by misbehavior.
I want us to get back close how we was.
Tell him.
It's working. It's cool.
This is working.
But you got to open up a little more to me as your little sister, how we used to be. When I would sit you down, do your hair for you, we would talk.
But
I would even be your wingman for the girls.
You still is. You still is.
But how can I don't want to just be your wingman. I want to be around you. I want you to come call me and say I'm on my way over your house.
I work and I go to school, Mama. I work and I go to school.
I go to school. I'm a mother.
This when I was, all right, but you got to think about this when I was smoking and drinking and we cooling. But now I go to school and I work.
I want him to be close to my daughter, how we was.
His mama's boy.
All right, Rodney and Sharon, let's go one at a time. In brief, Rodney, what do you want today from your biological parents? What do you want?
My mother, we good. She just.
But your dad, you're done. He's dead to you.
Yeah,
your dad is. Now, what do you want from your biological parents?
I want my mom to stop trying to raise me and be a friend now, because it's no way you can raise a grown woman.
What about your dad?
I want my dad to continue to be consistent.
He's not going to
do it. Your dad. So you have greater feelings for your dad than for your mom. You have greater feelings for your mom than for your dad. Let's get them all back together and see what happens. Stay right there. Get them all back together.
I said, you had a pocket that you got from the church. I wasn't getting it to you. The church, why did you take it to the funeral, low life? I wasn't giving it to you. Why did you take it to the funeral, low life? Get high. Why did you take it to the funeral? Was that your excuse? I told you, low life, take it to the funeral home. I don't need nothing from you.
Love watching from your couch? Wait until you see us live. If you're going to be in the New York City area and want free tickets to see a taping of the show, go to our official website, BillCunninghamShow.com, or call toll-free 888-710-8425 for your chance to talk back with Bill. It's time for you to take control and give my guests some tough love. How would you resolve the issue? Do you think Rodney should get over the past to work on a relationship with his father, Kurt? Call me with your answer to 1-855-TELL-BILL. You hear what other viewers answer and to receive some valuable offers. Take control and call 1-855-TELL-BILL.
Two siblings face their deadbeat parents.
Where were you when she was a child, Mom?
Where were you? I was there. You wasn't there for me like you were supposed to be.
And two parents pointed fingers at each other.
You ain't built like that.
You killed them. You killed them for not being there.
Can this family be put back together today?
If you don't want a relationship with me, I'm okay with that.
At the end of the day,
I'm okay with that.
Today's about family drama and how to resolve it. And Kurt, everyone's agreed to let you have your say. You're the father. What do you have to say to your kids? What do you have to say to your ex?
Well, no, I wasn't never there, but I love my kids. I miss them, son.
Do you have a sense,
everything they were saying,
you have a sense of guilt and wish you could go back and redo it, don't you?
if I could, I would do it the right way.
You could go back in time. You know, a couple things. As a father myself, you cannot rewrite one word of what's happened in the past, but you can change all the tomorrows that are ever going to exist.
You know, I ain't the
And if
same
you can
person
be-
I used to be, Bill. I want to thank my
You're
daughter
different.
for doing this, man.
She's the one that brought everybody here.
I really needed
Our
this.
mama, the one who always try to get us back together.
I love my
Kurt.
son. I only got one son left, but
Look at your son, Rodney. Just listen. Just
He
listen.
can go ahead with his life. I mean, he don't want no relationship, so I'm all right. You know, I'm all right.
I'm good.
You know, I'm all right.
I get it.
Like I tell Rod,
I'm good.
he's the child,
He's
you're the
good.
father. Don't
Everything.
stop
He's
fighting
good.
for his kids.
Everything.
That's what you give up that quick.
Everything.
I want to hear from Rodney.
It ain't nothing like that what you preach.
Only thing I want to say,
What? Rodney, just
You get that every day, a hug.
I want him to be a better father, way better father than I was, to take care of all of his kids.
That's right.
All of them.
Everything.
Take care of all of them, not just one, Bill. At the end of the day, Dad,
We were making progress a minute ago.
Let's put it on the table.
Put it on.
If you don't want a relationship with me,
Tell
I'm
him.
okay with that.
At the end of the
I'm
day,
okay with that.
Shouldn't be.
I'm not
Shouldn't
okay.
be.
I'm not okay with it, but I'm okay with it because I gotta continue to live.
Let me,
Mom.
Rodney, let me hear from.
Long as
Rodney.
you know what, Bill. You know what I accomplished.
One at a time, one.
My daughter
Your
put this
mother
together.
fought. If
Me and
your
our
mother told me,
relationship
if your
gonna
mother
grow
fought,
from this.
if your mother
Then
fought.
I accomplished what I came to do. Already knew. Already told her on the phone. I said it might not work with me and my son. I told her that. I said,
make
but if
it
me and
work.
your relationship grow, I'm okay with it.
All right,
I don't need to tell
I want to
the
hear
world.
from Rodney. Rodney, you said something offset, and I think it was very profound. Look at your dad. Dad, here's
you brainwash
Dad.
pretty much all of them.
Kurt, here we
Mainly
go.
them.
Hold on, Rodney.
What, with love?
Rodney.
I brainwash him with love.
At the end of the day,
Rodney.
at the end of the day, that's why I like that. You know what? I
Let
love
me
him
have a
anyway.
moment.
Every day.
I love him anyway.
Honey.
But I be. If I'm gonna let you or him hurt me,
You trash.
that won't. Well, I'll be trash.
I want to have a moment between.
I'm gonna go home
Kurt.
and be trash in my house, chilling, full of joy.
Hold on, Rodney wanted. Hold on. Rodney
You
wanted a
been with men
moment.
on Facebook.
Rodney wanted a moment with his
They
dad.
were
Rodney,
on Facebook.
what do you have to say, Rodney, to your dad? Hold on, Rodney. Hold on, honey.
I'm not paying that dude no mind, man. I know you.
Son, what do you say to your father?
at the end of the
It
day,
ain't nothing. Like I said, I love my little sister to death, both of my sisters. Brother, rest in peace, love you to death. Mom, Dukes, you already know what it is. And ain't really nothing. Like I said, it ain't even about me, man. Be there like, build a relationship with your grandkids, my kids. Build a relationship with them, you feel me? everything else is pretty much dead. Like, I don't want you in my life. I ain't missed, like, everything I've done.
Let it go.
Since
Let it
I've
go
been
then.
out of
You accept
prison.
that?
At the end of the day, you
accept it. No more death threats, both sides, done.
I'm okay with it.
All right, Sharon, I want to thank you for bringing this family here.
Thank you.
I think we made some small steps. What about you and your mom? That relationship is right here. We have a lot more coming up. Stay right there. Want to take a peek behind the cameras? Then follow me on Twitter. Like me on Facebook. Circle me on Google+. Or follow me on Instagram, because you don't want to miss a minute of the backstage drama. It's unedited, unfiltered, and unbelievable. Do you feel dished by your own mother and don't know why? Do you feel like she doesn't love you?
I'm showing favoritism all the way around and treat us all equal. We your kids.
On today's show, my guests have accused their parents of being lifelong deadbeats. Here to help, relationship expert and author of Good Enough Mother, Renee Seiler to the show. Renee, how you doing?
Hi, hey, Bill. You know what? Can I just say, well, he apologized.
You know what?
I just want to know, what was that for? What were you apologizing for?
You know, for everything, for my son being passed, me never being there. You know, I apologize for all that.
So that's
And
just
I
a blanket? That's a blanket apology. Listen,
that's up to her.
Are you going to accept that?
I told him I wanted an apology for my son didn't have insurance. I had to struggle.
Okay, I understand that. Would you just stop for 2 seconds? He just gave you a blanket apology. Can you accept that?
I accept it.
You do? You do accept that. All right.
That's one. That's one.
We made a little bit of progress, okay? Because I think that's important. It takes a very big person to say, I'm sorry, I made some mistakes. It takes a very big person to do that. And especially on television in front of a bunch of strangers. So I have to give you credit for that. I have to give you credit for accepting that. Because that's very, very important. Because now you guys have, instead of rehashing what's happened, you have to figure out how can you move forward. I spent the better part of an hour listening to everybody talk about everything that happened years and years and years ago, and not one person looking for how are we going to move on from here. And
how does father and son move on? Because I sense maybe it's over, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I was just going to say, I think that when he said, forge a relationship with your grandkids,
that's
and
good.
You said, you don't want him in your life, and he said, I'm okay with that. I think sometimes that's it. That's just the best you can do. This situation doesn't look like it's ever going to be great. So why would you continue to be together and just irritating each other?
Kurt, can you do that? Because I sense Rodney is at that place now. He's done with you, wants nothing to do with you, but and a magnanimous gesture. He wants you involved in his children's life. Your Are you okay with the fact you're going to leave this stage, shake his hand, and that's it? Are you good with that?
You know what? You know, I apologize to him too, but I don't.
Tell him.
You know, right now, he don't want no handshake from me, and I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
But I will be in my grandkids' life. I talk to them on a regular basis.
I feel that they need to be close.
You know?
Right. Are you okay with that, Ronnie? Are you okay with him walking out of your life? Are you okay with that?
Could I ask Kurt a question?
Yeah.
Why did it take coming on there to say that, to want to do it?
Because Fridge wouldn't hear him out.
No,
he would never hear him out.
Wait, she has a
We're talking about the
question.
grandkids.
Wait, let him answer. Let him
Let me
answer.
answer your question.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I tried to call you twice. Daddy, calling me for? Daddy, what you want? Don't call me no more. Okay, so how?
Don't have the kids.
Renee, get control out there, which I couldn't do. Get control.
We're doing the same thing again. We're rehashing what happened in the past.
Now, wait. I've been with this man 20-something years. I know his history.
People change.
Wait.
People change every day.
Oh, okay. So let him, he apologized. Now he's saying, you asked him a question. All you got to do is let him answer. Don't interrupt. Just let him answer. He started to answer why it's taken so long to get to that point where he felt comfortable saying, I'm sorry. Why was that? Wait, I still don't know the answer. I still don't know the answer.
Let's do this. This family has lost a son, and they've lost a brother. He's underground, and he's murdered.
Right.
The goal today is not to have murdered relationships in the future during the living years with the living members. And hopefully today we've come to a conclusion Not necessarily what every party intended, but a good conclusion. This family can move on, and in the memory of that dead brother, in the memory of that dead son, think about your present relationships during the living years. Think about that.
Be together.
He would not want you to do that. He would not want you to be like this. Your dead son and your dead brother would not want this relationship left behind.
Bill, he stayed with me. He told me his last words. He wanted all of us to be together.
Say that. Did you hear that?
He wasn't even expecting him to put nothing for that.
You don't know what he
When we continue, it's the bottom line. For more info, go to the website, BillCunninghamShow.com. Want to take a peek behind the cameras? Then follow me on Twitter. Like me on Facebook. Circle me on Google+. Or follow me on Instagram, because you don't want to miss a minute of the backstage drama. It's unedited, unfiltered, and unbelievable. It's time for you to take control and give my guests some tough love. How would you resolve the issue? Do you think Rodney should get over the past to work on a relationship with his father, Kurt? Call me with your answer to 1-855-TELL-BILL. You hear what other viewers answered and receive some valuable offers. Take control and call 1-855-TELL-BILL. Abandonment and neglect are two words that should never be associated with parenting. So here's the bottom line. Every child deserves a parent that provides comfort and care around the clock, 24/7. The absence of those essential elements often lead to rage and resentment, as we've seen today. But if you want to build a bridge to the future between you and your mom and dad, don't let your anger in the past lead the way. As difficult as it may be, show acceptance and forgiveness. It may not be the easiest way, but I guarantee you it's the best way. I want to thank all my guests for coming in, and I'll see you the next time.
Like you had 28 years to show me you kid, or 8 when he was living that you kid, and you ain't not one time showed it.
Me and my dad, I feel it's okay. Now does he continue to call and show love and hey, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, me and my little sister, we good. It just been, I just been, focused on other things. And she gonna always be my little sister regardless. Me and mom, that's my heart. And the other, my sperm donor, that's all he is.